closer to 1,000,000 than 0. I'm waiting for my DoorDash. Damn it, they canceled my DoorDash and then I'm waiting for another DoorDash and it is what it is, I suppose. Gonna be here. People have completely lost their minds. I'm down.
Welcome back to Slop Live. Today's Slopic, the World Cup drama, is getting pretty strange. A Brazilian psychic who somehow has over 24 million followers claimed that a UFO mothership was going to appear in the Brazil vs Scotland game, saying that the players, the officials, and hundreds of fans would be abducted by aliens all on live TV. She claimed to have had this dream twice and released a video crying, telling people not to show up. Well, the Brazil vs Scotland game came and went, with Brazil winning 3-0, and sadly, no aliens showed up to abduct anybody. Who would have thought? After this happened,
no aliens. There's no way.
She never made a prediction, but she continued to believe that the arrival of extraterrestrials would happen. Also saying that in the early morning hours at around 5 a.m, her air conditioning, microwave, and coffee maker all turned on by themselves. Wow, very believable. And speaking of extraterrestrial,
there's no way that it never happened.
The Guardian witch doctor vowed to put a curse on Harry Kane for the Tuesday England versus Ghana game, saying he's not wishing Harry Kane serious injury, but he's going to do just enough to stop him against my country, saying he will do his work so that he can help Ghana. Well, England were the favourites to win this upcoming game, and the game happened, and Harry Kane
I'm waiting
scored
for my
no
fucking
goals,
DoorDash.
and not only that, England scored no goals, tying 0-0 against Ghana. The witch doctor saying after this result, he is now going to release Harry Kane so that he can score in England's next match.
I just want my chicken. I want my canes.
Very thoughtful of him, though, to prove this isn't just a
Is
coincidence.
it weird that I just want
a curse on Belgium
canes?
So New Zealand can finally beat someone for the first time ever in the World Cup? Thanks for slopping by.
We need to talk. I stop saying we need to talk.
It's actually happening. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be launching this year on November 19th. Pre-orders have gone up, and basically as of June 25th, 2026, the game is real. People can actually purchase it. The game is coming out soon, which is crazy to say. Now, with all that has come new information about release plans for this title.
Stop saying we need to talk. I actually am not watching that video because it says we need to talk.
If any of you are placing big bets on Polymarket on whether or not I would eat too much Chinese food and have a tummy ache for at least 5 hours today, then congratulations. Today's a big payday, because that is unfortunately the bad decision that I've made, and I was being really brave about it. You probably couldn't even tell until I brought it up, but now you know. Now you know. If Miss Frizzle went down my gullet with the magic school bus, the things she would see in there digesting would bring sadness to her soul. But the reason why I mentioned Polymarket is because CoffeeZilla just made a very interesting video covering some potential misleading, maybe even teetering on fraudulent practices, which I couldn't believe it. I'm probably as stunned as you are right now, even hearing those allegations, for something as trustworthy as prediction markets to engage in shadiness.
Today I talked to two journalists who ran two massive investigations you'll hear about almost nowhere else. The Wall Street Journal, Politico, both talking about how Polymarket has been running deceptive ads. They're hyping up the odds of your success, many times not disclosing that they're paid to do so. And even worse, a lot of the trades are completely fake.
No, I have a really hard time believing that. I really struggle to come to terms with something that far-fetched.
Why is my DoorDash awaiting my order in cans?
That's a pillar of society right now. That is a staple. I can't envision them engaging in something like this where it would be like potentially illegal.
Not only that, these investigations heavily imply that Polymarket knew and facilitated a lot of this deception, even going so far as to create a fake website for these people to put their fake bets on. It's a bombshell allegations.
I'll fully drop the sarcasm for just a moment here because maybe there's some people that don't recognize how much I hate prediction markets. I think that this is just so unbelievably degenerate that we have spiraled so far as to have things like Kalshi and Polymarket is just a normal staple in society where everyone just views it as completely like not weird to have things like Polymarket and Kalshi partnering with like news agencies and shit like that. It's so out of control. And it's creating a whirlwind where so many others are trying to get in on the action. This prediction market pool taking a dive in there because it's proven to be extraordinarily lucrative to just hypnotize people, fucking turn them into brain dead zombies that are constantly just gambling on anything that their little mind can even conjure up a thought on. Will Mr. Rogers be brought back from the dead by Orochimaru using the reanimation jutsu by 2027? Maybe I'll put fucking $20 down on that. And then they just continue to do this
we have Star
all
Fox
hours of the day constantly.
You're going to hear about it from the news? Oh, sorry. Well, CNN actually has a prediction market partnership with Kalshi. You're going to hear about it from Fox News? Oh, no, actually, they have a prediction market partnership with Kalshi once again. Are you going to hear about it from the Wall Street Journal? Well, actually, yes, but the Dow Jones is actually partnered also with Polymarket. This is a fun fact that was brought up to me by one of the journalists who wrote the story as a line of disclosure they had to make, actually.
It is a parasite that is infecting everything at a rapid pace. There will be nothing left that isn't partnered with a prediction market service.
4:45 to 7:45. It'll be here today.
Their new nomenclature to try and put makeup on it to skirt around some of the rules and the stigma around gambling. But everyone knows it's gambling. You don't need to have your third eye open. You don't need to achieve nirvana in order to figure out, piece together the puzzle here, put the rectangle in the rectangle. Prediction markets are just gambling. It's like boneless wings and chicken nuggets. They're basically the same thing with some very slight differences. And here the difference is you can gamble on literally anything and everything. Thus, it becomes a really, really big net that gets a lot of people hooked on the gambling. And it's now just everywhere. Genuinely everywhere.
My name is Caitlin Ostroff. I'm a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, and we just did a piece on how Polymarket is paying for deceptive bets to be shown on your social media feed.
So this is a reporter who's been investigating and made this big piece here, diving into the nitty-gritty on all of it. And she also mentions that there is a very important disclosure she has to make when even reporting about this. The parent company of her company, the Wall Street Journal, the Dow Jones, is literally partnered with Polymarket. You know, the one that she is now delivering a very important piece of hard-hitting journalism about. So that is a fun disclosure, which is something she mentions while giggling, and something CoffeeZilla also points out, like, what a fucking disaster, because yeah, it is. And keep in mind, these prediction markets are still, like, pretty new.
I will be right back.
Look at how big they've already...
I've got food coming.
pins you down. So baby, listen carefully while I sing my comeback song. You lied to me. She said she'd never turn on me. You lied to me, but you did, but you did. You lied to me. All this pain you said I'd never feel. You lied to me, but I do, do. Return after me, return after me. Hold on, return after me. Don't you know? You know that I give it. Here I go. Return after me, a little girl. Return after me, what's my pearl? Return after me, up and down. You know that I give it. Round and round.
Mark, stop lying about your big break.
You lied to me. She said she'd never turn on me. You lied to me, but you did, but you did. You lied to me. All this pain you said I'd never feel. You lied to me, but I do, do. Return after me, return after me. Come on, return after me. Oh my God, you know that I give it. Here I am. Return after me, once again. Return after me, top of the world. Return after me, one more. You know that I give it. Don't you know? Return after me, return after me. Hold on, return after me. Be strong. You know that I give it. Here I go. Return after me, my little girl. Return after me, what's my baby? Return after me, up and down.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah.
Yes, I can. Doubt, better leave. I'm running with this plan. Pull me, grab crabs in the bucket, can't have me. I'll be the president one day. January 1st. Oh, you like that gossip? Like you the one drinking what gossip.com. Now I got a word for your tongue. How many Rolling Stones you want? Yeah, I got a brand new spirit speaking and it's done. Woke up on the side of the bed like I won. Talk like the wind in my chest to that sun. G5 in the US to Taiwan. Now who can say that? I wanna play back. Mama knew I was a needle in a haystack. I'm a body boy, plus way back. I got a feeling it's a rap. ASAP.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.
The mountaintop, walk on water. I got power, feel so royal. 1 second, I'ma strike oil. Diamond, platinum, no more for you. That adrenaline, never giving in. Giving up's not an option, gotta get it in. Witness, I got the heart of 20 men. No fear, go to sleep in the lion's den. That glow, that spark, that crown. You're looking at the king of the jungle now. Stronger than ever, can't hold me down. 100 miles gunning from the pitcher's mouth. Straight game face, it's game day. See me running through the crowd, full of melee. No trick plays, I'm Bill Gates. Take a genius to understand me.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.
I get a good feeling, yeah. See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. A little light shining through the window lets me know everything's alright. See the baby lying on the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door. So I walk on up to the doorstep, to the screen, and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, throwing a little jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, throwing a little jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, throwing a little jasmine in my mind. See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking, and the place for two. Feel the arms that reach out
Thankfully, I did not get annihilated. Okay.
Literally everything, everywhere.
Yeah,
and
launch.
it's only going to continue spiraling down this shitter more and more and more, I imagine.
What? Will Trump say April Fool's this week? 4%? Bro, what the? Yeah!
Trump say McDonald's in January?
Good deal as usual. But you know, in the old
Never
days,
hated
McDonald's-
anything
Now,
more.
there's a lot more videos just like those. The general format is they make a long shot bet, get paid out a ton of money. Isn't that so wonderful? And if you look at the URL, it very clearly says Polymarket, or at least, you know, that's what I think that says. I'm zooming in. It looks like Polymarket, but the Wall Street Journal says it's a different website entirely.
Now, I'm sure you've seen videos like this.
It's
been
a
an
capital
extremely
I.
successful marketing campaign for Polymarket where they have these crazy bets, you know,
I don't see ads, so I don't
Bayless
care.
read from the Necronomicon before August 2026, and then they place like a big bet, and then they make so much money when it happens. Whoa! What else can you find on Polymarket to make life-changing money off these crazy long shots?
I kind of want to watch CoffeeZilla's thing. You watched the 200,000. Or wait.
Where they have these crazy bets, you know, will Skip Bayless read from the Necronomicon before...
Today I talked to two journalists who ran two massive
Oh, it's
investigations. You'll hear about
Voidzilla.
almost nowhere
Okay.
else. The Wall Street Journal, Politico, both talking about how Polymarket has been running deceptive ads. They're hyping up the odds of your success, many times not disclosing that they are paid to do so, and even worse, a lot of the trades are completely fake. Not only that, these investigations heavily imply that Polymarket knew and facilitated a lot of this deception, even going so far as to create a fake website for these people to put their fake bets on. It's a bombshell allegations, and I really was like, well, why aren't more people talking about it? And then I realized, oh yeah, because so many people are on the take from the prediction market industry. They aren't exactly unbiased sources. They're making money from this industry. They have a vested interest in making it look as good as possible. You have huge celebrities like Rick Rubin, like Timothy Chalamet. You gonna hear about it from the news? Oh, sorry. Well, CNN actually has a prediction market partnership with Kalshi. You gonna hear about it from Fox News? Oh no, actually they have a prediction market partnership with Kalshi once again. Are you gonna hear about it from the Wall Street Journal? Well, actually yes, but the Dow Jones is actually partnered also with
not great.
Polymarket.
Not
This
great.
is a fun fact that was brought up to me by one of the journalists who wrote the story as a line of disclosure they had to make, actually.
My name is Caitlin Ostroff. I'm a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, and we just did a piece on how Polymarket is paying for deceptive bets to be shown on your social media feed. And even the Wall Street Journal, our parent company, Dow Jones, is a partner of Polymarket. So, like, you know, that is a fun line of disclosure that we get to put in literally everything we do. It's the highlight of my day.
Yeah, what a disaster.
Fun.
You run this incredible piece of hard-hitting journalism only to find out
Oh
your
shit,
parent
yeah,
company
yeah,
has
pretty
a
much. I
partnership
just woke up,
with
had
that
some
company.
alarm
Now,
BS.
credit to them for reporting it. You know, it's a huge bombshell. Obviously, Polymarket is probably not happy with
Sorry,
it at all.
I don't have
and basically,
the
the
chat
central
up
finding
on my
is all around not only fake bets,
here.
but all these videos that were going
I
out
need to
showing
put it up.
people making a ton of money. It turns out it was happening a lot of the times on a fake website that Polymarket set up. So I'm going to have you watch a few of these videos and notice the URL.
Bro, what? Will Trump say April Fool's this week? 4%? Bro, what the?
Hey, there's the chat. I'm up on YouTube now.
In January?
Good deal as usual. But you know, in the old days,
I fucking hate this
Now,
planet.
there's a lot more videos
I
just
hate
like
this
those.
planet.
The general format is they
I hate
make
it
a long
so
shot
much.
bet, get paid out a ton of money. Isn't that so wonderful? And if you look at the URL,
I hate
it very
everything
clearly says
so
Polymarket,
much.
or at least well, that's what I think that says. I'm zooming in. It looks like Polymarket, but the Wall Street Journal says it's a different website entirely.
Thank
we
you
have
for the birthday.
spoken to people who have told us that Polymarket created this
Appreciate
website.
that.
This website Polymarket was made by Polymarket.
Wait, you said I didn't just have an aneurysm. I just heard Poi Market. What?
This
What
is
are you
at least
talking
what
about?
we have called it. This is the so Polymarket has
The
created
real
this
life Barney
program
Gumble?
where they have told
Yeah,
college-age
that's fair.
creators to film content promoting the website.
Oh, it's gonna
and as
happen
part
again
of that,
tonight
They should
or
film
today.
themselves
I don't know.
making trades. Now, to film these trades, Polymarket are reporting shows.
Well, I took 3
created a
days
fake
off. We're
website
gonna be
called
perpetually
Poi
drunk
Market, or
these
at
3
least that's
days.
what we are calling it, but it's POIY Market. And when the I is capitalized, it looks exactly like the real thing in terms of the URL. But when you look at the actual website where the trades are being placed, there's a bunch of discrepancies that we found, which led us to realize that a lot of these bets
What
that are
divorce
being
does to
placed
you
weren't actually
does to
on
me anyway.
Polymarket's websites. They're on this fake website that Polymarket gave creators access to go and make
Yeah, get your Polymarket bets in.
what looked
everyone.
like real bets.
Guys, to state the obvious, I don't know who thought of this. 1, diabolical. 2, I mean, dude, I cannot tell. I spelled, by the way, one with an I, one with an L, but I forgot which one I spelled with an L. And I literally looking at
really
it right
fucking
now.
funny.
I just wrote this. I can't tell the difference between the two. Those are not the same URL. And that was the cheat
That
code
is
they were basically
actually
using,
really
was
funny.
giving the creators the one where it looks like, you know, when you're taking the cell phone cam of your browser, it's going to show the actual browser. And so it looks like, oh, Polymarket, you're actually at their secret polymarket.com where they were running a simulated version of the website to do fake trades.
Yeah, well, I did for 15 years, so wouldn't recommend. Would not recommend.
Which is fraud, by the way. I mean, you know, that's my personal opinion. I mean, I don't think you can just deceive people into thinking,
Would
oh,
not
that's
recommend.
a real product video when it's a complete fake.
2005 to 2018. Knew each other for a few years and then got married, and he left me 5 days after our 9th anniversary, which was the day after Christmas. And our anniversary was on December 21st, the solstice. I tied it to my job. Shouldn't have done that. Incredibly devastating every year. Not recommend.
Oh, it's so easy to get rich, like all these guys trading. Look at all these college-age people like you. Get in our app
Trying to
early,
die.
right, while you're young.
The liver
while
will
we can
not
get
fail
you hooked
quick
into our
enough.
Platform. And actually, the truth of the financial impact of these trades is much different than what they tell you.
Yeah, there was 118 bets.
Should have
that
died before 40.
appeared like the person
Didn't
won
happen.
in the video.
Don't know
and
why.
More than half of those would have lost in real life. And if you look at the amount that people were supposed to win when that was paid out, if you replicated all of those trades,
Yeah.
you would have lost $166,000.
Works.
So it turns out, if you actually did all these get-rich-quick bets that are looking like many times they're actually paying out on these social media videos, you'd actually be in over $100,000 of debt. Which is, you know, more than a lot of colleges.
So I'm
get you into,
I'm
which is crazy, because
$150,000 in
college
debt.
is the big debt trap, and it turns out that
He is so fucking right there. College is a big debt trap. I'm $150,000 in debt. I make about $60,000 a year. I am $150,000 in debt because of college, and I study balls in space because I'm a fucking moron. I'm a fucking complete idiot for doing that.
these people who are trying to present this college side hustle are presenting you with an even worse debt trap. It's also, hey, why not spin up a gambling addiction while you're at it? And of course, the reason to
I
spin
could
up
have
that
I
gambling
could have done the
addiction,
gambling
possibility of
thing.
great riches was a farce. It was a smokescreen of.
If I break an arm, I'm done. I am done skis. Like, if I fall down, break an arm, our healthcare system, like, people are like, oh, well, you have to wait hours to go into healthcare in other countries. Yeah, well, you're going to die if you come here to America and you break a fucking arm. No, I can't. They're taking all my money. I paid $20,000 fucking dollars in tax. No. You are wildly underestimating how much tax I pay because I also have a kid that I have to pay for. You don't even know that. You don't even know my situation. You see, you don't even know. See, you have a parasocial relationship with me. You don't even know the fucked up shit that I'm in. There's no theoretically about it. See, you think that you know me? You don't know me, man. Don't even fucking think that you can tell me how to live my life. No, you do not know me.
Advertising. Now maybe you're thinking, look, hey.
Yeah, you don't know
get
me.
real. This
Most
is what
people
casinos
don't.
do. And
No,
that's
don't
exactly the
even
point.
fucking
For
try and pull
a
that
long
shit.
time, for
No,
years now,
no, sir.
The playbook of this industry, prediction markets, has been
No,
they're
sir.
not casinos. They are event contracts. They're not gambling.
He's-
They're hedging economic exposure. It's not a parlay. It's a
Yeah.
combo, right?
Don't-
They have all
don't
these
even.
euphemisms for everything, but it turns out when you actually
Don't
look
even
under the hood,
try
they're
and
doing all the
do
same things,
the
including,
smart
by the way,
thing.
the
It
marketing
don't work with
playbook,
me.
which yes has been.
I'm the smart thing. I am the smart one. Don't even.
Fake bet slips, fake influencer winnings, influencers pretending, they're making all this money. And then on the most dastardly side, even the platforms themselves getting involved with the deception,
Don't do
which
that.
appears to be what the Wall Street Journal is alleging here. Polymarket setting up this poi market itself. Now, maybe you're wondering, well, did they really know? They actually made a statement saying, quote, they're committed to maintaining accurate, fair, and transparent markets. We are part of a rapidly growing industry and constantly evaluating ways to improve how we're engaging in earning.
Just a regular tip. Don't try and tell any streamer or any person online what to do or how to live or anything because you don't know their situation. Yeah, don't just let's just focus on the stream itself. Don't focus on the person doing the stream. Parasocial shit is real. Like, you think you know me, you don't. You don't. Nobody knows the intricacies of anybody else. What we're here for is to have fun and watch the stream itself. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Trust of our audience. The company
Everyone
says it
has shit
plans
they're
to
going
conduct
through.
A comprehensive audit of active
Way
promotional
more.
content.
There's
Guys,
way
they
more
investigate
shit that I'm going
themselves.
through
But now's where
that
we
most
turn
people
to
don't
the
know.
Politico story.
I'm Maya Kaufman. I'm a reporter for Politico,
Yeah,
and I
probably.
wrote about how paid influencers are hyping Polymarket's odds.
This was once
It's just
again about a
way
lot
better.
of undisclosed promotions. This time, instead of college students, it was a lot of like progressive and conservative commentators that they caught on the take many times, undisclosed promotions. But what's worse about this one is who's doing the paying.
Anyone doing anything other than watching me is doing something better in their life right now.
Company's chief marketing officer, Matthew Madaber, who used a personal PayPal account to send money to content
Easily.
creators. Now, why does it matter that the CMO's getting involved with particularly paying people?
Easily.
Well, again, they claim like, oh, we're trying to improve trust. We're going to do a comprehensive audit. Well, that all has to imply that they didn't know about this fake website, right? At the highest level, oh, this is just some rogue intern somewhere. So what does it look like when the CMO is involved?
We found that he was using a personal PayPal account to send money to all kinds of influencers, and we were able to verify the identities of about 24 influencers who all combined were receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars of payments from this PayPal.
Not disclosed. Like many of these people's, their audiences had no idea that there were these posts, and they didn't know they were basically paid
He's got a
to
weird
promote
mic here.
either the trustworthiness of Polymarket, to promote certain mayoral bets, to promote, different
He's got a weird mic
contracts,
here.
whatever you want to call them. But, it's kind of funny. The thing that I've been thinking about is these are companies that purport to be about truth, right? They say they are better engines for truth. And yet, this is deception right at the heart of getting in the front door.
Yeah, the FTC has rules around advertising disclosure for precisely this reason. They want people who are seeing paid promotions to know that these are paid promotions, and our data team did an analysis of the posts from all of the influencers that we identified, and during a 14-month span, we found that they posted at least 490 times on X without disclosures about Polymarket.
So, yeah, the CMO didn't notice that. The CMO didn't notice all these people he's paying from his personal PayPal are not.
You're gonna play Star Fox tonight.
So Polymarket knew, hey, it's better engagement if these people don't say they're paid by us. It looks better as some organic thing, right? So that's what you see over and over again. Once again, the casino playbook. But forever, they've been denying the allegations of. We see it time and time again. And these two investigations brought it all together. You have the fake betting website, and then you have the CMO directly involved with a lot of these partnerships that are not disclosing these advertisements. Now, of course, I don't want to leave you with the impression that Polymarket is the only one who might have done activity like this. They're just the most credibly accused right now. To be clear, this industry is extremely competitive. Everyone's trying to jump in, trying to use growth at all costs to start it. You know, the king
It's not
of steal
called
your idea,
gaslighting,
Mark
it's gas
Zuckerberg,
lamping.
has recently directed Meta to create a prediction markets app. And you know Mark Zuckerberg knows a good platform idea for exploiting teens when he sees one. I mean, wow, he must be lights out with this idea. Right now, the New York Times claims users would not wager money, and the apps would probably rely on video game points, although the company has not rolled out the eventual use of real money betting. Let's be honest, we know where this is headed. Even the president himself, you know, Truth Social, I think they're starting a Truth Predict, or they're trying to. You've got the president.
A Truth Predict? Oh my.
Son, I believe he's some type of advisor for Kalshi, which the CEO of Kalshi was actually asked
everything
about this guy. What experience does he bring? And the answer there is pretty.
If you hate this country, leave it. Do you have the money for me to leave it? Do you have a good 50K for me to like resettle down in a Nordic country and run a planetarium there, or teach astronomy or something?
Priceless.
Why did you guys make Donald Trump Jr. a strategic advisor?
We have a lot of advisors, and they span across the board,
Yeah, she didn't ask that. She said, why did you make Donald Trump Jr. a strategic advisor?
different functions, but really this is all about growing this industry, the prediction market industry.
But you didn't answer the question. Why do people not answer the fucking question? You're asked the questions like, what's 2 + 2? Well, I don't know. 1 is a set in and of itself with a strategic figure of 1. And then whenever you add sets, the 1 set and the 1 set combine to make a 2 set. So you have a 2 there, but it's not always that, because you have to add the 0 in the set if we're talking. So you have to, and then you have negative numbers. So those are also in a set, and if you have negative numbers, we have to define what a set is. Like, dude, fucking, this shit fucking pisses me off.
A lot of people really believe in.
What kind of advice does he give you?
So it really is, again, about growing prediction markets.
Does he come to meetings? How much do you pay him? What's his role? I mean, this is the son of the president.
We have a lot of advisors.
He's not just any advisor.
Yeah, she is correct.
He has a direct line to the White House.
We have a lot of advisors.
Yeah, the reality is people
have a lot of
anything
advisors.
to grab as
That's
much
a lot.
of this market as they can, which is essentially like casinos, but legal in all 50 states and on your phone. I mean, that's basically the pitch. There's obviously going to be a lot of money, and people are willing to kind of do whatever it takes. But of course, that begs the question, well, if that's the case, then we need to rely on regulators in order to stop the excesses of people trying to grab as much money as possible. And, you know, there are rules in place, as Maya, the reporter, actually talked about. There's the FTC guidelines. You are not supposed to promote something and not disclose it. Of course, that's what a lot of people have done. So I wanted to know, like, do these reporters believe that something's actually going to happen here?
We did ask the FTC about what we found. We presented a summary of our reporting and we asked, is this something that would fall under their rules? And they didn't respond to any of my follow-up emails. So my indication is I really don't have that much insight into what they're thinking about this, if at all. Generally, these agencies, if they do have investigations, they're not confirming those to reporters while they're open. But the silence, I think, was pretty deafening when we reached out to them.
Honestly, no idea. It's really weird being a journalist these days, and really at
Damn
every point,
you.
you never quite know what the public reaction will be. I mean, we haven't heard anything specific from the CFTC, but also generally government agencies don't comment on if they were going to do investigations into much of anything. So, you know, if they want to investigate, that is their right, but we haven't heard anything.
Well, at least they're honest. We don't truly know what's going to happen, although personally, I'll just give my opinion. I don't think they're going to be investigated for this poly market. I don't think, you know, any of these prediction markets are really going to get meaningfully regulated, and I think that's a bad thing for everyone else. And specifically, I hope this video has shown, if somebody's telling you
Hell
otherwise,
yeah.
I would ask the question, are you paid? Because even if they didn't disclose it, does it mean they aren't still on the payroll? Big thanks to the two reporters who spoke to me from the Wall Street Journal and Politico today. I'll leave their article below as well as their co-authors. And thank you so much for watching.
Dude, hard-hitting media. I'm telling you guys. It's only going up. It's why the steam machine was overpriced. Because they won't have to do prices when the 5th, 6th price hikes come. Steam isn't stupid. They know. Yeah. Right now. PS5, Xbox are below MSRP. But wait a year, broski? Everyone is pissing themselves about the Steam box or the Steam machine. They know what the fuck is coming. They just got ahead of it. Mark my fucking words.
Is historic.
Let's go.
And I mean that in the worst possible way imaginable. The damage that artificial intelligence is doing to the world economy, especially
Mark my
where computing
fucking
electronics
words.
is concerned, can really be felt now, and it's only gonna get worse. That's right. A third price increase has hit Xbox, and it's bad. It's really bad. Xbox is thoroughly, completely fucked at this rate.
They're not, though, because people are going to pay the price.
Especially them being last in the
They're
console
not.
race and their current standing when it comes to hardware.
PlayStation is going to raise their prices, so is Nintendo. Everyone is raising their prices again and again and again. Steam Machine, when they debuted at $1,050, they already knew they were going to take the brunt, but then all of the big three are going to raise their prices above that. Steam Machine is not going to raise their price. They will eventually, within a year, they will be the cheapest option on the net. Fucking mark my words.
Sales not being good, and just the platform as a whole still having a lot of uphill battles to tackle before they can kind of start gaining momentum akin to Nintendo and PlayStation. So here it is, folks. Xbox's social media page posted the following updated Xbox console prices. This was literally posted like an hour ago as of the recording of this video. And here is what they had to say. Here's the blog post in question. Effective August 1st, which is like a little over a month from now, effective August 1st, 2026, we'll be updating prices worldwide. The price of Xbox consoles will increase by $100 for the 512 gigabyte models and a whopping $150 for the 1 terabyte models. We will also be sunsetting our 2 terabyte model. The price.
Why would you sunset that?
Prices for 2 terabyte SSDs has gotten so expensive that they cannot even afford to keep the 2 terabyte model up and running. This is something that they have to sunset because they probably can't find the components for it. And even if they did, the prices for the 2 terabyte models would be utterly ludicrous. And the bleak part is that Xbox is hinting that this is not going to be the last of it, citing how console storage and memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027, meaning that over the course of the next year, we're going to continue to see price increases for computing components and for gaming hardware such as Xboxes. And no doubt we'll see similar price increases for PlayStation, for Nintendo Switch, and yeah, like the Steam Machine, the Steam Deck, all those things will be afflicted by the continuous doubling of computing hardware and electronics. And you have artificial intelligence to thank for all of this. And the irony and the thing that makes this less an excuse for Xbox is that it is a Microsoft subsidiary, and it is Microsoft itself who is among the biggest pursuers of artificial intelligence and one of the biggest entities responsible for fucking over gaming, including Xbox itself. It's literally the Eric Andre meme of him shooting the dude and going, how did this happen? Except in this case, it's Xbox shooting affordability and then going, what happened to affordability of gaming hardware? So what this effectively means is that the Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte version will go from $400 to $500. The Series S 1 terabyte version will go from $450 to $600, and then the Xbox Series X 1 terabyte version will go from $650 to a whopping $800 for the disk drive version, and the Series X 1 terabyte digital version will go from
type it again. Can't hear you with the dick in your mouth.
And $50. If we take into
people
account all
are
of the
justifying
price
this
increases
shit
that happened throughout Xbox Series' history, what this means is that the flagship Xbox Series X disk drive model now costs $300 more than it did when the console launched back in 2020. Originally, the Xbox Series X cost $500 for the disk drive version. Now it costs $800. You can see right here in this screenshot of an IGN article just what prices and MSRP was like when the Xbox Series first launched, and it's just depressing to look at because it really accentuates just how much more expensive things have gotten. The Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte version started once upon a time at a price point of $300. Series S 1 terabyte once upon a time was $350. Series X digital was $550. Series X with the disk drive 1 terabyte was $500. And the 2 terabyte version of the Xbox Series X was once upon a time $600. And with the first price increase, we saw the MSRP for these consoles go up by anywhere from $80 to $100. And with a 2 terabyte version in particular, it went up by $130. This first price increase happened on May 1st of 2025. And then the second price increase happened on September 19th, 2025, or was announced on that day, and it took into effect on October 3rd. The second price increase saw these consoles go up by anywhere from
Sure.
$30 to $70 in price point. And then comes this third price increase that sees consoles go up by yet another $100 to $150. And I'll say again, it's expected that by fall of 2027, the price of computing components and electronics will double yet again, which means that we'll see those prices go up by like 5 times from where they were before the AI RAM apocalypse began. So this is not the last of it. I suspect that at its peak, this RAM apocalypse will lead to Xbox Series consoles being worth more than double their original MSRP at launch by the time these price increases get that crazy. And Xbox in particular is in an especially precarious position because the Series X 1 terabyte version, which is now $800, is only $100 cheaper than the PS5 Pro 2 terabyte version, which comes in at $900.
Right.
And for that extra $100, you get a console that has twice the SSD storage and is significantly more powerful. Now, the Series X 1 terabyte digital is $50 less than the one with the disk drive, but still, for $150 more, you still get a more powerful console with twice the SSD storage. The Xbox Series X 1 terabyte digital is competing more directly with the PlayStation 5 digital edition console, and that's a significant disparity in price point, with PS5 digital edition right now being $600, which is $150 cheaper than Xbox's 1 terabyte Series X equivalent. And then the Nintendo Switch 2 is sitting comfortably at its launch MSRP of $450, though that price will go up by $50 on September 1st, so the
I think Nintendo's winning. Guys.
Switch 2 will be $500. That price increase is still, significant, but nowhere near what we're seeing with PlayStation, and certainly, especially with Xbox. It has been widely reported that of the big 3 console makers, Xbox was the least prepared for the RAM apocalypse. They didn't have a good war chest.
Nobody should have a war chest. Doesn't matter. This shit is stupid. It doesn't fucking matter.
Hello everybody, welcome back to This Week in Halo. Today we are talking all things Halo, from brand new possessable Halo Infinite enemies to even Xbox finally putting the resources everyone has wanted into our franchise. We're also talking about the future Halo games rumored to be on the horizon, a little bit about Halo 7, and even more. In Halo Campaign Evolved news this week, the game has shot up the pre-order list, and that's very cool. Halo Studios, they also made a mistake on the recent Q&A, so they had to do a press release to correct the mistake. We have a lot to talk about today, so this is This Week in Halo. Let's get into the video. So first up today, Xbox is to move much faster to develop new entries into iconic franchises. That's right, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and Halo. Obviously on this channel, the one we all care about is Halo. Asher Sharma and Xbox are rumored to be putting much more resources into our franchise. In a massive shift for Xbox, Asher Sharma is seemingly putting Xbox first, with their games from the Phil Spencer era that were going to be on PlayStation, but they're not anymore, as well as this new rumor that flagship IPs that Microsoft and Xbox own are going to be expedited in development and given much more resources. Now, the reason why this is so significant is that other Microsoft executives have approved Asher Sharma's plans, and this is a complete 180 from what Phil Spencer wanted to do, with almost all of Xbox's flagship games going onto the rival platforms. As we have no doubt seen at the Xbox showcase a couple of weeks ago, Gears of War.
Oh, Chris Cornell just uploaded a new Final Fantasy.
Uematsu's Final Fantasy soundtracks comes from
insane
complexity. I mean, so far we've talked about One Winged Angel in Final Fantasy VII and how it was just an absolute chaotic combination.
One Winged Angel is so dope.
Final Fantasy VI, where he wrote an 18-minute 4-movement symphony for the organ.
Dancing Madness.
When he writes a piece that wasn't even really intended to be in the game? What happens when he writes a piece that becomes so accessible by people like you and I that it becomes the entire franchise's most beloved theme? Let's take a listen.
Dude, here we go. it's very good. It's a very good song.
So many beautiful things happening
It's
right
such a
there.
good
And
song.
one of the biggest differences between this and so many of the other great icons from Final Fantasy soundtracks is its simplicity. First of all, we're dealing with just the piano, nothing else. What does that immediately mean for us? It's something that we can so easily go, oh, it's a piano piece. Well, I want to learn that. So incredibly simple. And I think one of the things that's so compelling about this piece is just how harmonically beautiful it is. Without even going to places that are super complex or out there. It uses such simple chords, but it does it in a way that keeps you drawn in the whole time. Let's take a look at what's happening there. This whole thing is going to be in the key of E minor. And immediately we drop down to a C major chord before going to D major to B minor. It's basically the same root motion, but down a half step. And instead of going from a minor chord to a major chord, we now go from a major chord to a minor chord. Now, what's interesting about these chords is that they are the chords that we would find in the E natural minor scale. If we only used the notes of E natural minor, that's these notes here, okay, we would build out triads with those notes and we'd find E minor, we would find F sharp diminished, we'd find G major, we'd find A minor, we'd find B minor, C major, D major, and that brings us back to E minor. So when we see these chords that we're using, they're just the naturally occurring chords in the E natural minor scale. D major, B minor. That's such a beautiful phrasing there, because our melody, our chord is C major, but our melody is the major 7th, so that gives us this beautiful tone, which is interesting, right? Because a C and a B shouldn't really go well together, but context is everything, right? So I love the use of the F sharp there, because what it does is it turns this whole chord into a C major 7 with a sharp 11. It's such a beautiful chord. Hey, don't forget to check out my Better Piano System. I don't take sponsors on this channel, and that's because I wanted to build something for you that might actually be useful instead of me sitting here using these few seconds to talk about a company that neither of us care about. I want to give you all of the skills that I use to make these videos, the skills I use on the piano, my knowledge of music and music theory. I've crammed all of that into one comprehensive program designed to take you from, even if you've never played before, to take you from the beginning all the way to having a skill set that you can use to learn how to play anything you want to on the piano. And we're going to do it in a way that I feel like I've always been frustrated with the way that the piano is taught. I wanted to fix that with the Better Piano System. And how we do it is you're going to play beautiful music first before you ever think about sheet music or music theory or anything like that. It's a while into the course before we even start to tackle any of that stuff, because I want it to come up naturally as we go in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming. And my biggest goal is to get you playing beautiful music as fast as possible right in the very beginning. In fact, the first lesson, you're going to have your hands on the keys. You're going to be making harmony. You're going to be making beautiful sound, even if you never thought you could. So if you are finally ready to take your piano skills and your music understanding to the next level, then be sure to use the link in the description and check out the Better Piano System. It is the best way that you can support the channel. It's how I support the work here that I do on YouTube, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So thank you so much for your support. Let's jump back into this. Here's another crazy thing. Oh man, this is why Tizanarkand is such an incredible theme, because we can literally just take those notes we talked about before and we can build so many incredibly beautiful things with them, right? We have E natural minor, but we also have C Lydian. Same notes, just a different root note. C Lydian is essentially the C major scale, but with a raised 4th. And that's where we get that beautiful that C major 7 sharp 11 sound. Right? And so we get that here. Before going back to B minor. Now here, we make a small change. We use the C sharp. Why do we use that? So that we can make that B minor, that add 9 sound, which is so beautiful. Such a beautiful sound, okay? So then we go. That's an interesting addition that leads us to really what is sort of the beginning of the melody. This is all still kind of in the intro, right? So the melody comes in and we're back in E minor. But check out how we got there though, because we used this A minor. And this is, to me, this is one of the most interesting chords of the entire theme. F major 7. Now, we established that in E natural minor, there is no F, it's F sharp. So the usage of F major is interesting. And then we just drop right back into E minor. So it's a half step from F major into E minor. That's an interesting motion. But now we're into the stunningly beautiful melody of To Xanarkand. That is such a beautiful melody. And again, I feel like the reason this is one of the most beloved themes in the entire series is because of the unbelievable simplicity, yet the way it sticks with you. You are still emotionally attached to this. No matter how many years later, you hear this and it triggers something deep inside you that just is like, oh, this is so, so beautiful. As with all great melodies, they are incredibly easy to sing and hum and remember. We just have then it basically repeats with a slight alteration. Call and response. Absolutely perfect example of call and response. And now, oh, we already heard that before. We know that part. But then we get our final. And I love how the harmony moves on that. Very simple. E minor, C major, D major. We get a resolution to G major, which is the relative major of E minor. Remember how we said that E natural minor has this key signature? Well, G major, just take those bottom two notes and put them up top. It's the exact same notes, exact same key signature. Same notes, we have all white keys except for an F sharp. So because of that, everything we play here we can really just play with that same palette of sound. Gives us so much room to grow and to work. But the way that it's voiced in the official arrangement is, of course, with these beautiful sweeping arpeggios. It's basically just a very simple way to take the chord, break it up. There you go. I mean, if you ever wondered how to take the chords that you see with some of your favorite songs and go, well, what do I do with this? That's what you do. You take it and just break it apart. And it becomes beautiful. I love this C major chord here because it tells us something that we're not really expecting. We kind of expect to go, that's what we're expecting to hear, but we don't hear that. We go, that tells us, hey, we're not quite done. But the way Nobuo Uematsu takes this and runs with it, I think this is one of the most interesting parts of the entire composition, because where we go from here is incredibly interesting. Check that out. What a beautiful bridge, I guess, right? Because here we've been establishing this very standard E minor to G major harmony, right? And then we take it somewhere completely different. We go to A minor to F major, which, remember from the intro, that was sort of the thing that we thought was interesting, using that F major, which doesn't exist in that E natural minor scale that we've been using for almost the entire piece. So it feels like we're changing key here, right? Don't we expect a C major there? But we don't get a C major there. We get an E minor there. To a B minor, F sharp minor, A minor again, to a B sus, B major. What an interesting transition that is. Just listen to those chords. Whoa, how beautiful is that? Now it sounds like we're doing the same thing in a totally new key. What? Oh, man. And now the whole thing turns around and goes back to the top again, right? So we've just introduced this incredibly gorgeous section that has all kinds of key changes that we weren't really expecting, and now we just keep that right on going, because after our B sus to B major sound, now we're gonna flip that major to minor, and it sounds like we're going to a totally new key, and we kind of are. That chord change might be my favorite of the entire piece. It might be my absolute favorite. C sharp minor to G major. A tritone away, and can you tell me honestly that that doesn't sound incredibly beautiful? There's nothing disturbingly dissonant about that at all. It fits so beautifully. F sharp minor, C sharp minor to G major. F sharp minor again before landing on B major of all places. Now, why does that weirdly make sense, even though it feels a little bit sudden in this particular context? Because this is the 5, going back to the beginning. We were in E minor, so E minor, the 5 of E minor is B major, B dominant, to get back to E minor. So the fact that it ends on that B major chord just works, because if you're going to throw a repeat on it and let it cycle around, what a better way to do it than to just throw the 5 in front of where you're going. But man, I mean, that whole second section that leads up to that B minor, to me, is just so incredibly beautiful because we're almost not expecting any of it. Again, we go to A minor, F major, G major, E minor, B minor, F sharp minor, back to A minor, and then a 5 chord. Think we're gonna go back to E minor? Nope, you'd be mistaken. We're just gonna make that minor. G major, A major, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, drop a tritone to the G major. Oh, man. And then finally we get one more F sharp minor. I think the other reason that sounds so out of place too is because coming to the B major from an F sharp minor is such an interesting motion. And that brings us back to the top of the melody once again. This is just such an incredibly beautiful piece, and the fact that it's really at its core so simple, and it's really, from a piano perspective, it's not that difficult to play. Again, check out the Better Piano System if you want to get your skills up, and you'll be able to tackle something like this in no time. But the whole reason that it just has become one of the most beloved pieces is it's catchy, it's memorable, it's beautiful, and it's accessible. This is something that this does that almost no other crazy iconic Final Fantasy theme does. It is totally accessible. That's why people play it on their piano recitals. People are playing it at their weddings, all kinds of incredible things, because Uematsu wrote a piece that we can all sit down and feel like we can play. It's one of the most beautiful and it's one of the most beloved, but of course I want to know from you if this is one of your favorites too. So let me know in the comments down below. And again, check out the Better Piano System if you want to start building up your skills to be able to tackle something like this, maybe in the future. I'll add a full walkthrough. This feels like something I should work on. That's a section that I have in the Better Piano System. We're doing full piece walkthroughs. I'm going to be adding a ton more very soon. Maybe this will be one of them. Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. In the next and last episode of this Final Fantasy series, we're going to dive into how one musical question was answered over a decade later. Stay tuned for that on Monday. The Pink Panther theme, I feel like, is often thought of kind of as like a meme or like a goofy kid thing, right? But here's the thing. I think it might have been the introduction to jazz for a lot of people. And if you want proof of Henry Mancini's genius, you need look no further than the original Pink Panther theme. And I'm talking the original, I'm talking this one. Check this out. Everyone knows this, right? It is the universal sneaking around theme. And then wow. It's a line everybody knows, but like that chord I think might have slipped some of our memories. And then of course this is the okay, wait a minute. We're gonna get to that. I feel like there's a whole half of this song that people just don't know. Maybe they don't remember it, maybe they've always heard a different version of it for whatever reason. Yeah, the Pink Panther theme, I think, is way more intricate than anyone remembers, and it goes so hard, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But first, let's just take a look at what's happening in the beginning there. This is the iconic intro written out. If you've ever wondered what it looks like on paper, it's this. It actually starts, this whole thing is in E minor, right? And this is where we're aiming for, right? We have these fifths going on. Actually, before we get there, we have a thing that we actually didn't write down, but it's a little intro, and it's just on the piano, literally. That's it. What a weird, we got a tritone, which is already dissonant enough. And in case you were like, well, you know what, a tritone isn't dissonant enough for me. I feel like I need more on top of that to make it even crunchier. Sure, go ahead and add the crunchiest interval, the minor second. Right, we get an A and a B flat and an E, and that's the chord.
More
Now let's
birthday.
get into it. So we're going to E minor here, and we're gonna use these fifths. And it's so interesting that because we're doing this like lead in with the
Sorry, I was gone like quite a bit. When one note proves you're a genius above all others. I
When
haven't
first saw
watched
the
this
trailer
one.
for one battle after another, the thing that stuck out immediately was
Hold
the
on.
soundtrack.
Fuck this. I don't really care about this.
I've been doing some research on the music from the early Zelda games, and I happened to pull up a walkthrough of Link to the Past, the game from 1991 for the Super Nintendo. It's not one that I had when I was a kid. It's not one I really played, so I wasn't super familiar with it. And I pull
It's
up
the
this
best
footage,
one
and
of them.
the first thing I hear is this. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Where's
Love
going
it.
now?
Love it. Love it.
All right. Listen to that.
Love it.
Okay. Wait a minute. wait. We're now just in a different time signature. Oh! And we're back in 4. Okay, all right. Wow. There's so much going on here. Let's take it from the beginning because this is wild. I had no idea there was this much stuff just in the open. Like, this is the first thing that we hear. Was this the second Zelda game? I think so, because Legend of Zelda from 1986 came out for the NES, and I believe 87, 1991, Super Nintendo, A Link to the Past, and boom! Koji Kondo hits you right in the face with this opening. And it starts out. We get this. We're using sus2 chords. Now, if you recall, we've talked about in the past, a sus2 chord or a sus4 chord, all it means is that if we take a regular major chord, we're going to substitute, instead, we're going to move this third, because this is nice and comfortable. It's nice and complete. It could be the ending. It could, it's home base. It doesn't need to go anywhere else. And we're going to move that third so that it is suspended in one way or another.
I don't
Those two
like
ways
when
are
they call it
up to the
like
fourth,
home base.
which now it feels unsettled. It feels like it really wants to resolve down. Or we can use sus2, which would be moving the third down to the second. Now this one is a little bit more resolved. It's not quite as suspended as sus4, but it still feels like it wants to pull up to that third. So we're going to use these sus voicings, which is a great way to establish tension right off the bat.
AI is
it is
killing
just beyond
gaming.
a joke now. The price of everything is going through the roof because of AI data centers. You do not hate AI enough. Let me explain what's going on here. So Xbox have rammed up the prices of their products by a massive degree. Now I'm going to show you the prices in a second, but also Apple have done the same, right? Notably recently, we had the insanely expensive Steam machine price. PlayStation have increased the price of PlayStations as well. This is because AI data centers
Gaming is a
consume
luxury
all
hobby.
of the RAM, of the storage, everything that is required to build consumer electronics is either being repurposed to go into AI data centers, or the production lines that made those products are being removed
AI
entirely
data
to make
centers,
bandwidth
baby.
memory and fancy types of NAND flash storage and all of that stuff, and SSD storage and God knows what for AI data centers. But what this culminates in is this very sadistic, right? And I think it is sadistic, sort of like scenario of SK Hynix, of Micron, of Samsung. They make memory. They can charge whatever the hell they like for memory. And they say, do you want memory? You say yes. They give you a number. You pay the number. If you don't pay the number, then you don't get the memory. That's the way this works. They can say whatever
Let's
the price
go.
is. They are making crazy amounts of profit because everybody is fighting for all of this RAM. But this means for me and you, if you want to buy an Xbox, it's now way more expensive than it was at launch for the same hardware. The same goes for PlayStation. The same goes for a lot of Apple hardware. I've got to show you this because it's just crazy. It's honestly crazy, and we've really got to be aware that this is just going to get worse because predictions are saying this is going to get worse.
Let's
going into
go.
2027 and beyond. Yesterday, Asher Sharma says gaming is becoming unaffordable for players, and she blames rising costs, competing subscriptions, and the attention economy. This is today, a day later from that statement. Xbox is increasing the price of its Xbox Series X and S consoles.
$100. S512, 100. 150. 150. 150. Yeah. And they're going to do it again and again and again. And I don't think Steam will do it. I think the Steam machines will stay the same at 1,049. I think the Steam machines have caught up with it. And wait a year or a year and a half. These prices in the new Xbox prices will be above that. Steam machine be 1,050, 1,049. I think they've had the opportunity of foresight.
Starting in August, the Series S 512 gig, instead of being 399, is now 499. The Series S 1 terabyte is now 599. The Series X 1 terabyte is now 800. 800. Good God. And the Series X 1 terabyte digital is now 750. This is what Xbox say over on their PR website. Updated Xbox console prices. Effective August the 1st. We will be updating prices worldwide. The price of Xbox consoles will increase by $100 for the 512 gig models and $150 for the 1 terabyte models. We will be sunsetting our 2 terabyte model because they simply cannot get the memory. And you've got to remember as well, Microsoft is one of the companies that is absolutely driving the data center build out. So it's like we are causing the prices to go through the roof. And so we're having to increase our prices, and we are the problem. It's fucking crazy when you think of it that way. Oh my days. So it says last October we increased Xbox console price by $20 to $70 in the US. We hoped another price increase would not be necessary. Actually, I forgot about that price increase, but there you go. In the several months working with suppliers on options, unfortunately, console storage and memory prices have increased more than 2.5 times, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027. Another doubling. What the hell? What the hell? It's crazy. The entire consumer electronics industry is struggling with the current component crisis, but the effects are particularly hard on consoles. Unlike phones, computers, speakers, and other consumer devices, consoles are typically not sold at profit, but instead for less than they cost to make, right? Because they want you in the ecosystem. Today, we're also sharing programs to make Xbox consoles more accessible. What? I didn't read this before I started the video. Now I'm like, what? It's like, oh my days. What? Buy now, pay later. We've made it easier for players to use buy now, pay later options on eligible Xbox hardware purchases through Microsoft Store, making it possible to break your payment up. So this is like the Klarna-fication of buying a games console. Interest-free financing, previously played consoles, certified refurbished. Oh my days. Okay, that's bad. The prices are going up. It's bad. But it gets worse because look at Apple. The good old MKBHD, he's got the prices up on Twitter. And the MacBook Neo, which is it's basically an iPhone in a MacBook case with a monitor. Or like an older iPhone 16, I want to say, is the internals. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, $599 that was. It is now $699. Right? And this is today. MacBook Air 1099 is now 1299. And remember, Apple products are always quite expensive anyway for what you get. Although maybe not, maybe the exception is the MacBook Neo, but I don't know. MacBook Pro goes from 1699 to 1999. Remember, the difference is like a MacBook Air
this
and a
shit
MacBook
is
Pro is
insane.
memory storage. You'll have more RAM, you'll have more flash storage, you'll have more SSD storage, right? So the prices of anything that requires memory or storage is just getting ramped and pushed through the roof. It's crazy. The Mac Studio goes from $2,000 to $2,500. The iPad Air goes from $599 to $749, and the iPad Pro goes from $999 to $1,199. Now, it must be said notably, there's no mention of the iPhone. When the price increases come for that, it's obviously their biggest selling product. Things are going.
Yeah. Welcome to the new age.
Gonna get probably a bit mental.
Welcome to the
machine. So you made it
machine.
this far in the video, and I am still struggling to come to terms with the cost of hardware. We knew this was happening. I have covered it in many videos.
Insane.
Until this point.
It's absolutely
It's
fucking
shocking.
insane.
I mean, absolutely shocking when you see this written down, when you see the price increases, When I say these words, I am flabbergasted, right? It is now more expensive to buy basically any games console, which has not increased in power since its launch. This has never happened in the history of games consoles. They don't get more expensive, they get cheaper. I remember, I might be tripping here, but I remember, I think it was Curry's or PC World.
Remember whenever consoles used to cost like 150 or 200 bucks? Remember that?
Or somewhere in the UK. They were selling tellies and giving you a free Xbox 360.
And remember when minimum wage was $7.50? Oh right, it still fucking is.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. The black Xbox 360.
It still
Like,
is.
you could get a mobile phone contract and you get a free games
Stupid.
console as well. Like, it's part of the deal. These days are long gone, right? Your Xbox of any variety is now more expensive than it was at launch, and it's no faster. It doesn't have more storage. In fact, they're removing the 2 terabyte storage option. Same goes for PlayStation. Same goes for Nintendo Switch. Same goes for a shit ton of Apple products.
I think Nintendo's
Same goes
winning
for
this.
loads of different types of PC hardware. The same goes for Steam Deck. Steam machine is just massively more expensive. Rumors were saying that should have been $750 or maybe $800 at a push, but they've actually, been forced to put that at $1,000 for the base model, and the one with more memory is now $1,490 or something mental. It is an insane time to be living in. The irony is also not lost on me, especially with companies like Microsoft. They are driving this. There is a massive global fight to get RAM, to secure high bandwidth memory, to secure flash storage, solid state storage, even to secure old style hard drives like from the likes of Western Digital and God knows what. This is a massive boom of capex which is being spent on these companies, the likes of your Microns. They're walking through the door.
We are going to play Star Fox today.
X number of
just
users
later.
to be made. Micron are like, yeah, that's going to be stupid amount of billions. Then the next customer walks through. The next customer walks through. They haven't even made this
545 to
stuff, but they're committing
845
spend tons of money on it.
something.
So they keep pumping the price of the product, and it's just getting stupidly expensive. And of course, these are critical components that are used in all of technology. I often think, and I think this, again, this is coming to fruition. Like I said months ago, you look at the price of, when specific components in the PC were getting more expensive, like the GPU was getting more expensive, right? Or they were starting to reduce the amount of VRAM on cards because they needed that for their, I'm talking about NVIDIA specifically, they needed that for their AI accelerators and all of that crap. Things were getting downscale, but prices were going up. You see it in the economy at a wider scale. When you look at things like shrinkflation, you see the reduction, like chocolate bar size is smaller, but things cost more. It's a really shit time, to be honest, to be in, because you just do not get value for your money anymore. And the point I was making is this is happening to all electronics. Gaming devices are getting hit. Anything with memory is getting hit. Everything is getting hit. Basically, any piece of technology you're using uses memory. This camera I'm talking into now uses SD cards. I went on holiday and I took the camera with me because it's got a nice, this lens is a nice prime lens, so it does some really nice, I think it's a 30mm
Please, or down, or down.
I think. Sigma lens, but it takes some really nice shots of scenery, and I was lucky to be in the mountains. I was taking some awesome shots. But I looked at the cost of the SD card. I've got a backup SD card, and I wanted another one. And then I looked at my price history on Amazon. It was literally triple the price. So I thought, I'll gamble and hope this card don't die. That is insane. It is an insane time. I don't know where the price is going to come down. I don't think they will, not for a long time. The only thing that will cause them to come down right now is the collapse of the AI bubble. But like I keep saying in videos, that will fuck everyone because it will collapse the economy. So there you go, gamers. A happy news story. AI is making everything massively expensive.
Woo!
And it's just
I'm excited. I'm excited.
crushingly depressing. All right, let me know what you think about this, guys, in the comments below.
I'm excited. I'm an accelerationist. I think we should all die and let another species take over. A flawed mess.
Why did you do that? The whole point of this! Did you miss the whole fucking point? At the end... Okay, let me...
I liked it. I liked it. Joe will only rewatch this.
It is
5
just beyond
times.
a joke now. The price of everything is...
I thought it was okay. Light burp. Yeah.
Needs more Popeye's chicken. Actually, kind of a funny story about that. The critic next to me won some sort of seat prize. Like they were just saying some random seats. You know, A5, nah. It's like, you know, B3 or something. And she's like, oh, that's my seat. I'm like, well, raise your hand. And she's like, why? Was it me? I'm like, I don't know. You won something. I don't know. She raised her hand and was like, oh, come on down. She goes on down there, comes back with a KFC bucket and a crypto plushie toy. And the first thing that popped in my head is, oh my God, is there going to be like KFC everywhere in this movie, like the original Supergirl movie? I was like, I hope so. And no
abortion cases.
No, there's not even an after
making their way
credit
through the
sequence
courts.
showing KFC. In fact, there's not an after credit sequence at all. But I was
Why?
so hoping. I was so hoping they would just have that plastered all over the place. It's the one time
Interesting.
that blatant advertising would be okay. But no, that is not what happened. With that said, I definitely want to say thank you so much for the early screening of this movie. I'm always very thankful. I'm invited out to those. I guess I should give a hint of my background on what I know about Supergirl, which is close to nothing. I know as much about Supergirl as I do about Aquaman, I guess. That being said, like when the character shows up, like when Jason Momoa was playing Aquaman, I'm like, that's not usually how I think of Aquaman. And it's the same thing here with Supergirl, but when the character was introduced at the end of Superman 25 last year, I said, this looks like fun. This looks like a fun character. Maybe they've done a version of like this in the comics. I don't know. Same thing with Aquaman. I'm not sure. So, I definitely like Lobo. Lobo's a fun character. I saw Jason Momoa's back in the DC universe to play that character here. I thought that was a fun choice. Again, I'm not an expert on him. I just think he's cool. I like those kind of characters. I think they're, you know, just messed up hair, you know, smoking the cigar, gun happy, all that crazy. I think that stuff is fun.
Or just
so I was going into this not with like I don't know super high expectations because I saw the trailer and I thought
which version of fucking stupid are you?
Like super excited to see it, but I wouldn't mind checking it out. And I gotta give credit. Trailers nowadays are really representing the movies that you're about to see. And you're gonna hear me repeat a lot of what I've said about a lot of movies this year, sadly. I thought this was very mid. And usually when I say that,
is okay.
This year, it's either mid leaning towards good or mid leaning towards I didn't care for it.
Why is mid bad? Mid is like it's okay. It wasn't bad or good. Like it was okay. It was an okay movie. I just went to it and I got to it skip for a few hours. Why is that bad? Mid. Whenever people say mid, they always think of like, oh, it was bad. But like, why is mid bad here?
I didn't care for this that much. I'm not gonna say it's awful. There are good things in it. But that's the thing. They're good. They're not great. There's nothing in this movie I can think of that's great. There's really only two things that stood out to me in this. And again, they're good. They're not great. One is the acting. All the acting is good. Again, I can't think of any phenomenal performances or anything, but I thought especially with what they had to work with the script, I thought they brought some decent performances. They were likable enough. I wouldn't mind seeing these characters again in something. And the other thing that was good was the practical effects. There's surprisingly a fair amount of practical effects in this, which is good because a lot of times when the CG is on screen, it's usually not that great. Superman's first appearance in this is just this incredibly bad green screened like Zoom call, and it just looks so phony. Like, hi, Superman here. I was wondering, if you could just pick on blah blah blah. And there's just this incredibly fake background of his house in there. It's like one of those fake backdrops you have when you're doing a Zoom call. Oh, I don't know, let's just make it look like I'm in space or something like that.
Thank you.
It looks like that, except it's for Superman's home. So, but there really were a lot of creatures and aliens and fun makeup and everything that are really there, which is nice to see. There's a lot of creatures in this, that could have just depended on the CG, but they went to the extra effort to have these aliens really there. And the same thing with some of the sets. They really build a lot of these sets too, which is cool. And aside from that, the best way I can describe this movie is that it's like a mix between True Grit, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Mad Max.
It sounds like a dope movie. I've seen it.
Any of those movies
it's fun.
Than this. If this came out, I don't know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I'd probably be more.
Everyone's acting like like an okay movie's a bad thing. It's a little bit weird to me. So it's a weird take. It's a very odd take. Dude, there are some fucking stupid people. Why can't I just find a girl that loves fucking Dragon Ball? Star Fox. Dude, everything is going up. Xbox has not lost their minds. It just is what it is. Sony is going to do it. Everybody is raising their prices. Dude, I'm telling you, man.
This industry sucks. All right.
They haven't minds. They are just reacting to the pressure. It's why Steam machines are $10.50. They won't raise their price. They already is coming. What are your everything will expensive. Everyone will enjoying.
I'm trying to pack my stuff for too many games. I just hit the pool as well. I'm trying to get prepared.
I also hit the pool.
To go to Oaks, Pennsylvania for too many games, and of course, stuff is happening. Xbox, you need to get it together. You are the laughingstock of the video game industry right now. Not that you haven't been for a while, but I've been nice to you. As the #1 Xbox YouTuber that exists on this platform, I've been very kind when it came to your game showcase. I thoroughly enjoyed your game showcase. I thought it was the best thing during E3, pseudo E3 week. And then since then, you've just been like, hey,
They want us arguing
let's
about
take all that
transgender
goodwill
sports,
and just throw
so
it in the
we don't
trash. You know, let's start talking about cancellations. Let's start talking about layoffs. Let's start talking about studio closures and all this sort of stuff. Do you even know like what you are doing? I know that Phil Spencer was running a business, according to Major Nelson, who's now back at Xbox. So I'm sure he'll be on my tweets once again telling me that Asha Sharma is running a business. But it does seem like there's a little bit of a disconnect, because all the Xbox fanboys, all the Project Helix t-shirt wearers, were all excited for the future of Xbox, and now it's just been a shit show. And it continues.
Fine.
Compulsion just
Is
laid
what it
off
is.
a bunch of people. And you know what? I'm not even talking about that, though. I am not talking about that. What I am talking about is yesterday's price is not today's price. And today's price is not tomorrow's price. Because spoiler alert, Xbox is raising the price of consoles again. Well, maybe. They did an Xbox Wire with updated Xbox console prices, and I'm sure it'll be going in the trajectory of down. This system is, 6 years old now almost, so I'm sure the price is going down.
He's got a
People
synthwave
laughed at
thing.
me when I said that I felt like there was a chance that Asha Sharma was coming in here, not necessarily to save Xbox, but to bring it down, to strip it away, burn it all down. And so that way Microsoft could maybe parlay Xbox off onto somebody else, have somebody come along and buy the brand. Like you see with so many different brands that have happened. And people called me crazy. Decisions like this make me feel like a crazy person who knows what they're talking about. Updated Xbox console prices. Effective August 1st, 2026, we'll be updating prices worldwide. The price of Xbox consoles will increase by $100 for 512 gigs and $150 for 1 terabyte. We're also getting rid of the 2 terabyte model. Last October, we increased Xbox console price by $20 to $70 in the US. We hoped another price increase would not be necessary, and we spent the last several months working with suppliers on options. Unfortunately, console storage and memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027. The entire consumer electronics industry is struggling with current component crisis, but effects are particularly hard on consoles. Unlike phones, computers, speakers, and other consumer devices, consoles are typically not sold at profit, but instead for less than what they cost to make. Today, we are also sharing programs to make Xbox consoles more accessible.
Yep, pretty much.
Read the room, you morons. Buy now, pay later. We've made it easier for players to use buy now, pay later options on eligible Xbox hardware purchases through Microsoft stores, making it possible to break up your payment into predictable, short-term, interest-free installments. Because, you know what? All these people, that's the problem. They all wanted an Xbox, but they just couldn't afford it. You know, when the Series S was like $350, they couldn't afford that. But this will be like, oh, well, it costs more, but you don't have to pay for it all up front. Interest-free financing. Players purchasing eligible Xbox hardware through Amazon can take advantage of 0% APR financing for up to 12 months, giving
Bro, we have to finance our fucking consoles
players
now.
more flexibility with lower monthly payments
absolutely
and more budgeting
insane.
control. Previously played consoles. We're working with retail partners on new programs to provide previously played consoles at lower prices.
Absolutely fucking
What the fuck does that
insane.
mean? Like, you're working with GameStop? GameStop's gonna do what they want. Like, who else is selling used You're gonna hit up the people on Facebook Marketplace? Players who are ready to upgrade or no longer use their console will be able to trade it in with participating retailers for cash or store credit. Those consoles
Absolutely
will then
insane.
be made available at lower prices for players. That already exists. I can take my Xbox and sell it on Marketplace for cash. I can take my Xbox and bring it to GameStop and get cash or get store credit. You get more store credit than you would cash. And then they sell it at a lower than
Our GameStop shut down because GameStop is superhuman garbage.
retail price because it's a used product. Do you think you invented this? Do you think you invented the used game market? Certified